What's up, everybody? Welcome to the third segment of the afternoon. A gorgeous December 5th day in 2016 in Western New York, I should say. Two segments I started off the show with today. The Buffalo Bills, obviously, I talk about them in great detail, being that I'm from Buffalo, from the Western New York area. That's the football team that I follow, so I do a weekly post-game reaction to the game and what the Bills need to do moving forward in the future to make themselves more successful. And also previewed UFC 206 Max Holloway versus Anthony Pettis in the main event of the evening for December 10th UFC 206 card this upcoming Saturday. So that being said, I wanted to talk about Chip Kelly and Jeff Fisher, two guys that have really been in the headlines recently for reasons of being complete mediocre coaches. And back in August, I wrote an article on myfantasysportstalk.com. It was called From Walsh to Chip, How Did San Francisco Get Here? And I want to share that article with this podcast, but I went in detail about how the franchise, the 49ers, are a staple of the NFL. They went from having, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, Roger Craig, Dwight Clark, Ronnie Lott, many more. Now they have employed Chip Kelly. And currently, besides the Cleveland Browns, the San Francisco 49ers are one of the worst teams the worst team in the National Football League, I should say. And I was quoted as saying, I expect nothing but turmoil, confusion, and losing for a team that is one of the most prestigious in the National Football League. CK7, referring to Colin Kaepernick, might show some flashes of his old self in Chip's offense, but they will be few and far between, and I expect him to be playing for another team next season in a situation much like RG3's current situation in Cleveland, a second chance, low-risk, high-reward contract. 49ers fans who believe the 2016 season will be a gold mine, I'm sorry, it will be closer to a landmine. Let the turmoil begin. And this was before the season even started. To say that I hit that statement out of the park would be an understatement. I actually predicted it tenfold that the San Francisco 49ers were going to be a garbage team. And it's not because guys retired and guys left via free agency or guys did this, guys did that. I said it because of the one reason only. Chip Kelly is one of the worst National Football League head coaches, not just currently in the National Football League, but of all time, period, end of discussion. I'll add more on to that, obviously, but I think he is so bad for the National Football League. He's so bad as a head coach. I can't stand the guy. I hate everything about the guy. I really do. I think that he should be coaching college again. If he wants to go coach college, that's great. If he gave kids an opportunity and taught kids valuable lessons in college, that's great. He has no business coaching professional athletes or grown men how to play football. No business doing it whatsoever. He really does not. And the reason why I say that, and I'm only, the Monday Morning Quarterback podcast host, I haven't accomplished what Chip Kelly has accomplished as a coach, so I'm not trying to say that he's a complete piece of garbage human being, but I am saying that he's a complete piece of garbage NFL head coach. Underlying reasons why is because he's shown traits of being a complete piece of garbage human being. Trading guys like LaShawn McCoy, trading guys like Deshaun Jackson, letting guys like Deshaun Jackson go, accusing Deshaun Jackson of being in a gang when Deshaun Jackson was not, and letting Deshaun Jackson go back to Washington, trading LaShawn McCoy, saying that they traded him because he was too much money, and then giving DeMarco Murray more money than LaShawn McCoy was making. And then not even using DeMarco Murray to his strengths, providing DeMarco Murray with the worst season of his career, only for the new regime to come in and trade him to the Tennessee Titans, where along with Ezekiel Elliott and David Johnson, he's been one of the top running backs in the National Football League, along with Le'Veon Bell, in the National Football League this year. So it was Chip Kelly that was hindering DeMarco Murray. It wasn't DeMarco Murray hindering DeMarco Murray. Philadelphia is purposely trying to undo what Chip Kelly did to their team. They've drafted another quarterback, Carson Wentz. He's been sporadic, but much better than I anticipated, much better than a lot of people anticipated. And they're winning. The games that they've won have been upset wins. They've played beyond their potential. With Chip Kelly, they played far below their potential. And that's the case with Chip Kelly in San Francisco. Their offense, the scheme in which he presents his offense, a fast, no-huddle scheme, it works when you have a defense to back that up. But when you have no defense to back that up with, you're leaving your defense out to dry just to be completely devoured because they're so exhausted by the speed in which the offense runs. If the offense is bad as well, then you're just setting yourself up for pure failure, time in and time, day in and day out, drive for drive. And that's what he's done with the San Francisco 49ers. Their offense is so bad. They have no weapons on offense. Their biggest weapon is Carlos Hyde, and Carlos Hyde has shown, much similarly to DeMarco Murray, they've used Carlos Hyde wrong in similar ways that they've used in the similar way that they used DeMarco Murray wrong. So reports are saying that Chip Kelly is going to stay the San Francisco 49ers head coach for 2017, quote, no matter what. I think that is just plain stupid. I think that Chip Kelly should be back in college, coaching Oregon again, or somebody like that. Basically, pull a Jim Harbaugh. Go to the biggest crop team, the biggest name franchise in college football or program, I should say, in college football that wants you. Please don't go to Notre Dame. I'm a Notre Dame fan. That would probably be the one thing that would make me throw up in my mouth if they hired Chip Kelly. So, Chip Kelly, please don't go to Notre Dame if you're going to go back to college. Go to another school that is a lot better suited for you than Notre Dame. If he went to Notre Dame and was unsuccessful, the Notre Dame fans would eat him alive, and he probably would get kidnapped. It would be bad. So don't go to Notre Dame. On to the next guy, Jeff Fisher, the Los Angeles Rams head coach. The guy that is the losingest coach in NFL history. Record of like 178 and 172 over the course of his 20-year head coaching career. And this is a guy that has actually coached in a Super Bowl. It's not like he's been a complete, bum. He hasn't been, completely terrible. But I will start off by saying that he coached in a Super Bowl. He lost that Super Bowl by 1 yard, which is pretty hard to swallow. Pete Carroll knows all about that. And the fact that he did have a few good years with Tennessee, and their defense was always top-notch. He does have a pedigree, but, all coaches have a pedigree. Chip Kelly has an offensive pedigree. Jeff Fisher has a defensive pedigree. So he comes to the Rams when they're still in St. Louis, and they have a few defensive pieces. Robert Quinn, Aaron Donald, one of the most underrated players in the National Football League. They bring those guys in, and they were building a team. Todd Gurley last year was a breakout rookie. And then this year they make the move for the quarterback. This year they go out, they try to make a trade for the number one pick. They do. They trade with Tennessee to make that number one overall pick, Jared Goff, out of was it with Tennessee? Yeah, it was with Tennessee. Out of Cal. He went to Cal, and I was having a brain fart there. Out of Cal, and they didn't choose to start him right away, which I understand that. You don't want to rush the rookie, but they didn't choose to start him until week 11. And by then, their season was already lost. Case Keenum was so bad in, weeks prior to that, they could have put Jared Goff in week 6 and still had a salvageable season. They left Case Keenum in too long / benched Jared Goff too long for them to have any sort of a fighting chance, and I really think it hindered Jared Goff's development. For that reason alone, I think that Jeff Fisher should have been fired. I think that Jeff Fisher should have been fired for that reason alone, to hinder the development of a guy that they gave up a wealthy amount of, a big ransom, gave up a big, hefty ransom for Jared Goff, and they sat him. They didn't give him the chance to even show what he could do on the field, and the only way he's going to learn is by playing. He's not going to learn reading off a clipboard. You're going to learn some things, but you're not going to fully develop yourself as a player if you're not on the field. So that was blasphemous to me, that they would not go with Jared Goff. They would not do it. Their offense really was hindered by it. You could see it week in and week out. Case Keenum was very bad. There'd be games where he would show signs of being subpar / mediocre. But they needed to go to Jared Goff, and they did not. The reason why these two guys still have The reason why these two guys still have head coaching jobs is because they're a part of the 32-team NFL club fraternity, where these guys are like going on their yachts and their boats and things like that, and hanging out and smoking cigars. That's the only reason why I think they're still head coaches. Eric Dickerson made a statement, the Rams great. He said someone must have naked pictures somewhere for, someone must be basically being the scapegoat for Jeff Fisher. Maybe someone is being blackmailed by Jeff Fisher is the reason why he's still their head coach. It was funny. It was funny. But the Chip Kelly thing, it's two completely opposite reasons, but Chip Kelly, I think, is detrimental to any National Football League team, and Jeff Fisher, I think, is as well. That's the one common ground that I have. If I was an NFL GM, I would have fired them both mid-season, no problem. Wash my hands of it. Take care, guys. Thank you for listening to the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. Plenty more where that's coming from. I'm very excited about the future of the show. We're going to be going visual very soon, so take care.